Hi, welcome to Makeup Guru 101. Today we have a William Shakespeare inspired look.
What? Why Shakespeare? I didn't even know you knew about him.
Wow, I was reading The Tempest last night and I was just really inspired by his words of wisdom. Except for, I just don't even really know who William Shakespeare is, you're right.
Well, let me tell you. William Shakespeare was a renowned English poet, playwright, and actor born in 1954 in Stratford-upon-Avon. Shakespeare was a prolific writer during the Elizabethan and Jacobean ages of British theatre. When he was 18, William Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway, who was 26. Together they had 3 children, Susanna and twins Hamnet and Judith. Shakespeare's plays are perhaps his most permanent legacy, but they are not the only things he wrote. Shakespeare's poems also remain popular to this day. Shakespeare's work includes 38 plays, 2 narrative poems, 150 sonnets, and a variety of other poems. Records give no indication of the way in which Shakespeare's professional life molded his artistry. All we know is that Shakespeare wrote plays that truly capture the complete range of human emotion and conflict. No original manuscripts of Shakespeare's plays are known to exist today. Shakespeare's legacy is as rich and diverse as his work. His plays has spawned countless adaptations across multiple genres and cultures. His plays have had a lasting presence on stage and film. His writings have compiled in various iterations of the complete works of William Shakespeare, which include all of his plays, sonnets, and other poems.
Alright, now before we can start this Shakespeare inspired look, we need to start with the M207-109 43 brush here, and we are going to be using this foundation to set the look, and we are using Bare Minerals, brand new, and it is the Sycorax Face Defying Foundation. So excited to use it first time. Alright, now we have Katie here for our model. Gotta go in and you just really gotta exile those blemishes just like Antonio did to his brother.
Wow, Kelly, thanks so much. That really looks great. Like the importance of foundation and makeup, the key characters set the foundation of the play.
Although there are not a ton of characters in The Tempest, the majority of them are male characters with the exception of 2 females. First, there is Prospero. Prospero is the former Duke of Milan that was loved by his people. He was exiled to a remote island for the past 12 years with his daughter. He has magical powers and is the father of Miranda. Next, Miranda is the 14-year-old daughter of Prospero. She was only 3 years old when they were exiled to the island, so that is the only life she knows. She has been taught by her father and given a better education than she would have received as the princess. Caliban is the child of an evil witch, Sycorax, and was born on the island. He is considered to be a monster and is put under the control of Prospero throughout the play. Ariel is the servant spirit of Prospero. When Prospero and Miranda arrived to the island, he was trapped inside a tree trunk because of the evil witch, Sycorax. Antonio is the brother of Prospero that sent him to the island and took over his kingdom. And lastly, Prince Ferdinand of Naples is one of the only few boys that Miranda has ever interacted with. He is separated from the rest of the characters when he stumbles upon Miranda on the island and falls in love. In the beginning, Prospero is the deeply loved Duke of Milan. He puts lots of trust in his brother Antonio and basically lets him rule the kingdom for many years as he devoted himself to the study of magic. Antonio decides he wants to kill his brother Prospero to take over his kingdom. Instead, he decides to exile Prospero and his daughter Miranda to a remote island. When boarding the ship, a friend and ally of Prospero secretly placed some clothes, water, food, and his magical books on the ship. This creates some sort of hope for survival. The island that they were headed to was a magical island that was under the spell of an evil witch named Sycorax. When they arrived, they noticed that Sycorax had imprisoned the good spirits inside of the tree trunks. He made one of these spirits, Ariel, his servant. Although he made them obedient to him, he was good to them except for one, Caliban. Caliban was the son of the wicked old witch and was considered to be half-devil. No, for you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even if infect my mouth. I do forgive thy rankest fault, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I know now. I know thou must restore.
If thou, best Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation, how thou hast met us here, whom 3 hours since were wrecked upon this shore, where I have lost how sharp the point of this remembrance is, my dear son Ferdinand.
I am woe for it, sir.
Irreparable in the lost and patience, says the past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought for help of those soft grace, for like lost I have her sovereign aid and rest myself content. As great to me as late and portable to make the dear lost I have, mean much weaker than to you may call to comfort for you I have lost my daughter.
A daughter? Oh heavens, that they were living both in Naples, the king and the queen there. At they were, I wish myself were mudded in the oozy bed where my son lies. Then did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest, I perceive these lords at this encounter do so much admire, that they devour their reason and scarce that think that their eyes do offer a truth. Their words are natural breath, but however you have been jostled from your senses. Know for certain that I am Prospero, and that very duke which you trust forth from Milan, who most strangely upon the shore where you were wrecked was landed to be the Lord Aunt. For this a chronicle of day by day, not a relation for a breakfast, nor befitting this first meeting. Welcome, sir. This sells my court here. Have I a few attendants and subjects, none abroad. Pray you look in my dukedom, since you have given me again. I will requite you with as good a thing, at least bring forth a wonder, to content ye as much as me, my dukedom. Sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my dearest love, I would not for the world.
Yes, for score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I will call it fair play.
Through the seas, threaten they are merciful, I have cursed them without cause.
Oh wonder, how many godly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is. Oh brave new world that has such people in it.
Sir, she is mortal, but by immortal provinces she is mine. I choose when I cannot ask my father for his advice, nor that I had one. She is daughter to the famous Duke of Milan, of who I have received a second life, had second father this lady makes him to be. There, sir, stop, let us not burden our remembrances with a heaviness that is gone.
After this short scene, they all set sail for Naples and prepare for the marriage of Ferdinand and Miranda. After the wonderful wedding, Prospero regained his title of Duke of Milan. At this time, he stopped practicing magic and lived a happy life. He forgave all of the people that had caused harm to him and had set Ariel, the servant spirit, free to wander the earth and sing.
Many themes can be viewed throughout William Shakespeare's The Tempest, but the two most prominent themes that Kelly and I viewed were the illusion of justice and wonder or admiration. The Tempest tells a fairly straightforward story involving an unjust act, the usurpation of Prospero's throne by his brother, and Prospero's quest to re-establish justice by restoring himself to power. However, the idea of fairness that the play strives towards seems highly slanted, since this idea represents the view of one character who controls the fate of all other characters. Though Prospero presents himself as a victim of injustice, working to right the wrongs that have been done to him, Prospero's idea of justice and injustice is somewhat hypocritical. Though he is furious with his brother for taking his power, he has no worries about enslaving Ariel or Caliban in order to achieve his ends. The other prominent theme in the Tempest is the theme of admiration. Miranda's optimism about the future serves as a beacon of hope. Ferdinand senses Miranda's admirable qualities upon first meeting her, exclaiming, "Oh, you wonder!" In a later scene, he proclaims his superior virtues. O you, so perfect and so peerless, are created, of every creature's best. Clearly, admiration can be found in less than ideal times. In conclusion, of all of Shakespeare's plays, The Tempest is considered to be one of the worst interpreted and performed. The Tempest was Shakespeare's last play without the collaboration with John Fletcher. The play most likely was a success at the Globe as well as the first printed comedies of the First Folio. It was most likely played for King James I. It is considered that The Tempest is neither a discourse on colonialism nor a mystical testament, and it is widely experimental stage comedy.
The selection of Act 5, Scene 1 is important because this is the moment that the prince and Miranda are revealed to the rest of the characters. It is also a moment of forgiveness and repentance. This is the climax and turning point of the story, and therefore we chose this section to be the most important part of The Tempest.
Personally, The Tempest is not my favorite out of all Shakespeare's works. I found Prospero to be very hypocritical and random. However, I did appreciate the tone of the play. The Tempest opens the play with a feeling of chaos, but eventually a tone of hope resides in the characters as everyone looks towards the future. I appreciated Miranda's admiration and hope towards a brave new world. Although The Tempest was not my favorite play, it did add symbols such as hope and admiration that can be applied to life today.
Personally, I think this play is mediocre. Shakespeare definitely had a good idea with the setting and the environment of this piece of work. I enjoyed the dramatic irony that was shown throughout the storyline, especially when the reader is aware of the prince being alive when the rest of the characters are not. Although this play was not my favorite, I still enjoyed the read and the storyline. All right, Katie, are you ready to see your final look?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, here we go.
Wow, Kelly, I absolutely love it. I really get the Shakespearean vibes.